Okay, so hello and welcome, dear viewers. This is Samriddhi, your host for today. For the newcomers, I'll just brief you through the Codeverse community. Codeverse is a government certified learning platform that provides training, courses, and internships, along with different coding workshops created by the students and for the students. So, this is our second episode of our series of podcast, Small But Significant. And we have with us Miss Uzma Shaikh, who is a proactive individual who loves to keep an eye for details. She is also known among the REITians for being the General Secretary of Training and Placement Cell. And also, the main thing for which she is here, she has grabbed a catbird seat at TIA. So, welcome, Uzma.
Thank you, Samruddhi.
So, can we
Thank
start?
you for we can start.
Okay, so my first question is like, please explain or elaborate your role in TIA.
Okay, I'm a technology trainee at TIAA.
Okay. So, what is your preferred language in the selection process?
Okay, my preferred language is Java. So, talking about the selection process at TIAA, we had our online assessment round at around 25th June. Then we had resume. We have to submit our resume, and then we had two rounds of interviews. So, talking about each round specifically, in the online assessment round, we had aptitude questions, we had DBMS related questions, and we had pseudocodes and the language related questions. So in for aptitude, I would suggest you can go through indiabligs.com, wherein we have all the formulae written over there, and we also have the solved examples and examples for practice. Next, for DBMS related questions or for pseudocode related question, you can go through various websites like Geeks for Gigs, Java Point, etc. So next, talking about interview round. So my first interview round was purely technical, and second round was a mix of technical and HR. So in about first round, first we were asked about tell me about yourself. So I would like to say that tell me about yourself is the most important question, which students generally neglect. So tell me about yourself is a question where you will drag your interview to the part where you like it. So for example, do not just say about yourself, your hobbies, but also talk about your projects, what you have done in your 4 years of engineering, what you like about the technical stuff, what you don't like about it. Explain all the things. Then I had my second round of interview about 2 days later. In second round of interview, it was a mix of technical as well as behavioral questions. In technical, I was asked basic OS concepts, oops concepts, etc. In technical round in sorry in HR round, I was asked tell me about TIA, why you want to join TIA, then where do you see yourself in 5 years or 10 years, then what are your strengths and weaknesses. And about this process was all about 1 week, and after a week I got my results and I was selected.
Okay, so you are into competitive coding.
Yeah.
So, like, from when did you start this competitive coding?
Okay, I started in my third year. If I talk about the journey of competitive coding, I was really very weak in programming, as I didn't have as I didn't have any prior knowledge of competitive programming in my preschools like 11th and 12th. So when I came to college, I was very nervous about competitive programming, like what exactly it is, and putting logics and brains into it was really very very difficult for me. So in my second years, I went on to like the basic concepts of any programming language. So I picked up Java, as I liked Java. So I picked Java. What I liked about Java, and like why I didn't prefer Python, was because many, like there are few companies that do not allow Python, because there are many uh, automatic programs in Python that you have to implement by yourself. So I didn't prefer Python for that very reason. Java I preferred because it was an object oriented programming, and it was like, for me it was easy to understand. So I picked up a programming language, and then I signed up on lead code. Lead code was was very helpful for competitive programming for me. I picked up all the easy level question. Then I picked up a topic. For example, if I want to work with a string, so I clicked on the string part and the easy level questions. As I was able to solve the level question, then I jumped to the medium level, and then difficult. For campus placement, I would suggest the easy and medium level are good to go. But if you want to crack some farm companies, then you have to do the then you have to do the hard level questions.
Okay, so can you elaborate on your internships? Like what all internships you had done?
Okay, internships. I have done the in my second and third year. I have done the SDG projects, the software development project, which are in our college itself. So I have done that, wherein the faculties give you real life problems, and then you have to elaborate, and you have to make some this. I have also participated in hackathons and Hacktoberfest fests. And after that I have done a project with TIAA. Like after selection, they had given us a CSR activity, and RAIT was chosen for that. And then they gave us two real-time projects under their CSR activities. So we picked up one problem statement, and we developed a project on Flutter. So that was my internship with TIAA.
Okay, so in your opinion, was the interview more skill based or project based?
First round was skill based. Like they ask everything about the technical stuff. They ask about the software engineering concepts. In software engineering concept also about SDLC life cycle. They ask me about the testing, the types of testing, white box testings, and black box testing. Then they ask about the models, the waterfall model, agile methodology, and all such concepts were asked. In DBMS they ask about the queries. Like they'll give you a specific condition. For example, you have to find the second highest salary in a table. So you'll be given the table, and you'll be asked to find out the second highest salary. Then in os all the basic concepts, the semaphore condition, deadlock condition, all this was asked. And in Java, the basic programs. For example, the to reverse a linked list, how to in parenthesis checker, how you use a stack. Like these questions were asked. And oops is the most important concept in any interview, I would say. So yeah, oops was also asked. And in second interview, second round was not very technical. It was a mix of technical, project based, and it was managerial
Skill based.
round. So yeah, managerial and HR. So in that round, I was asked what was my favorite subject. So I told the interviewer that maths is my favorite subject. So he was very impressed with that, because usually students don't like maths. But I
Hmm.
was the one who loved mathematics. So I told the interviewer that maths was my favorite subject. So he asked me about the what you like about maths. So I was like, ki, I don't have to muggle up anything. It was just ki, I have something, and I have to work on that problem. So I don't have to remember something, or I don't have to mug
It
up
is more
something. So
logic
that is,
based.
it is more, yeah, exactly, it is more logic based. So I told the interviewer, and the interviewer was very impressed by that answer. So he asked me about my favorite concepts in maths and all. So yeah, that and then he asked me what was my technical favorite subject. So I told him about web development. And then he asked me technical stuff. And then he shifted to the project. So he asked me about like what was the most difficult project that you did, and what was the difficulty you faced in that particular project, or if your team member refused to work, so how did you manage that thing. So it was like these were like project based questions, and then few HR questions, as I mentioned. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? And then when you speak about strength and weaknesses. Now if you're speaking about strengths and weaknesses, so if I talk about something like my strength is time management, I will have to speak about supporting sentences that will help you to improve yourself. Like if my strength is something, I will say that I manage this and this thing simultaneously, so my skill was time management. If I talk about my weaknesses, for example, if my weaknesses is public speaking skills, so what did I do to improve my public speaking skills is what the interviewer looking for in the answer. So you have to talk ki, I did worked in committees for where like my public speaking skills improved. So this type of questions were asked in both the round of interviews.
You said that they had asked you what are your future plans, like the next 5 years. So, what was your answer?
Okay, so I told the interviewer that the in the next 5 years I see myself leading a particular project and doing significant impact in whatever field I'm working in.
Okay. How long was this interview?
So first round was about 45 minutes to 1 hour, and the second one was around 30 to 45 minutes.
And how did you manage this pressure?
Okay, actually, TIAA was the first company to visit our campus, so it was like very. I was very nervous during the initial phase. Like, we usually don't have any experience of interviewing,
Yeah.
so I was really very nervous during that phase, and I was not very confident. I had technical knowledge, but I was not very confident speaking to the interviewers. So I used to practice myself in front of mirror. I used to speak in my mind, so that helped me to overcome this fear of speaking in front of the interviewer.
Okay. So the next question would be, when did you receive the offer letter?
I received my offer letter in the month of June 2022. I was selected in June 2021, and I received my offer letter in June 2022. They generally give offer letter prior to your joining. So like we will
And
be
do they
joining in
expect you
July.
to do a internship or they directly give you the job offer
No,
letter?
no, no. They directly gave me the full time job offer.
Okay. Any tips or tricks from your side to crack the interviews, or even like you should give this much of time to aptitude, this much of time to coding in that
Okay.
regards?
Okay. So what I feel is most important is make a to-do list. Like if your placements are 2 months, are from 2 months, so make so dedicate 2 days for strings, 2 days for arrays, 2 days for linked list, 2 days for stacks, 1 day for queue. You make a to-do list wherein you will complete those particular topic in that particular days only. So and if the interview is approaching, like you have only 2 days for left for the interview, so I used to divide my day in like two parts. Like in the first half of the day, I will revise everything. In the first half of the day, I will revise everything that I have previously studied. In the second half of the day, I will see the resume, what I have done. I will what I can say is, whatever is mentioned in my resume, I will go through the topics. And in the next day, like the second day, i will uh, I will study the concepts of OS, DBMS, and a few CN topics. So like this I used to prepare myself. And also one important topic, if you don't know any answer in the interview, don't waste your time and the interviewer's time, because interviewer's time is precious. So
Right.
that will create a negative impact on the interviewer, right? So do not like honestly give your opinion that okay, I know this thing about your question, but I'm not very sure. So the interviewer will move to the next question, instead of just just speaking of something that is like irrelevant to the topic. So do not waste the interviewer's time.
Okay, we have a question in the comments. Did you do lead code or anything like that for practicing DSA?
Yeah, I did lead code prior to my placement, and I'm still practicing lead code. Like I'm still active on lead code.
So, how many questions did you do in lead code?
Prior to my placement, I had completed around 150 to 200, and now I have done 500 plus questions.
Okay. अगर किसी को questions है तो comment section में डाल दो please. Yeah, I also saw that you are the general secretary of TPC. So, how was that experience?
Okay,
Like, did that
so
contribute to your interview round?
yeah, yeah. So generally, all the interviewers in the HR round ask you what you have done apart from your academics. So, so my TPC experience was there to to answer the question. So I told the interviewer that I was the general secretary of training and placement cell. So we manage the training, we manage the placement activities of our senior. So yeah, that helped me, and that helped me to improve my communication skills, my public speaking skills, and also you can manage your time effectively. So yeah, that helped me.
Okay. You also had a GitHub account, so were you active and did that contribute?
Yeah, you should know the basic commands of GitHub, like how to pull, push, all the basic commands. If you know, you are good to go. Like the
मतलब इतना
interviewer may,
active रहना is not
yeah,
necessary.
no, active HANA is not necessary, but if you know the basic commands, you're good to go. Because some interviewers ask you about your about how do you clone a repository, how do you push, how do you like all the basic things, basic stuff.
Right. Does anyone have any doubt? Please put it in the comment section so we can clear it now itself. Okay, so before leaving, please tell me three tips which you should like things you should avoid to do in an interview.
Okay, first thing is that if you don't know, tell the interviewer honestly that you do not know this, you only know this particular part. Then be confident enough. Like I will tell you about one of my experience in interview. The interviewer asked me a subject and asked me in which semester the subject was. So now you know that the interviewer might have graduated 5 to 6 years back. So the interviewer also don't know this subject is from which particular semester. So I just said that okay, this was in the fourth semester. I was not confident, and I was also not knowing that this subject is in this semester. So he just wanted to see my confidence. So be confident enough, and and okay, and do the oops concept. very, very clearly. Like you should know each and everything about the oops. These are the things I
Right.
would like to.
Also, today actually I was making my own resume and I noticed that there was a section for hobbies. So, like, is it
For
really important? Hobbies.
okay, hobbies.
So,
Okay.
is it really important to look into what hobbies you're putting, or it's just a casual thing?
No, no. Talking about hello.
Yeah, yeah, you're audible.
Okay, okay. So, talking about hobbies, hobbies plays a really important role in the HR interview or the behavioral interview. So, if you mention about your hobby is reading, so the interviewer may ask which is your favorite book or what you have learned in that book. So, do not casually put anything in your hobbies section. Put your actual hobby. For example, if your hobby is traveling, so the interviewer may ask that what are the spots you have visited, or what are the tourist places that you have visited and what you liked about it, what are the attractions over there. So the interviewer will ask questions about your hobbies, so do not casually put anything in your hobby. Put your actual hobbies only in that section.
So, what had you mentioned?
So I like drawing and painting. Luckily my interviewer didn't ask me to show any of my paintings.
You had interview rounds online, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
both were
There's
online.
a question. What topics of DSA should we prepare at least for clearing coding rounds? Does time complexity matters in coding round?
Okay, for if I talk about the on-campus placement, till linear data structure is more than enough. Linear data structure and DP. And if for off-campus placement drive for like big multinational companies, you will have to go for the non-linear data structure like trees and graph. And time complexity does plays an important role because you will be having constraints. For example, if the constraint for a particular variable is 10 to the power 6, and if the time complexity is n square, the code will not work because n square the variable size will go to 10 to the power 12. But for a particular for a particular code, it has to be below 10 to the power 9. So if it is exceeding, the code will not work. So yes, you have to see the time complexity. So I would suggest that the maximum your time complexity should be n log n or n log n. It should not exceed to n square, because that will create a negative impact on your code.
Right. So I guess we have answered all the questions from the comment section. Yeah. So shall we end this? You have something to say?
I have shared my
Okay. Thank you
experience.
so much for investing in us. It was so good to have you.
Thank you for calling me. Thank you.
1 second, we have one more question. He's asking for linked list questions in coding round. Can we subclass of link subclass of list such as vector or linked list?
I didn't get the question. Some subclass of list.
Linked list question. Can you elaborate the question? Can we use linked list explicitly? Or we need to use collection framework from linked list?
Okay, you're talking about collection framework.
Yeah, he's talking about collection framework.
Okay, so if the interviewer asks you about a particular Okay, linked list. Okay, you can use linked list in your code. But if the interviewer asks you about explaining how the things are added in the linked list, then you have to show him the add function, the delete function. But otherwise you are good to go if you know the implementation of the linked list. So it's not necessary, but it is good to have the knowledge of what is going on in the backend, like how the elements are added, how the elements are deleted, how it is traversed. So it is good to have knowledge. But yes, you can use, for example, if the interviewer asks you a stack question, so you can directly use the direct implementation of stack, that we have collection framework in Java. So I can directly use stack st is equal to new stack, and then I'll get like I'll push the stack elements, push pop. So we have direct functions, but it is good to have the knowledge of the implementation, like what is going on in the backend.
Okay. So I hope we have cleared all their doubts. Is there any more doubt? Please put it in the comments section. We'll wait for some time. Yeah. So now I'll close the session. Thank you so much for investing. And it was so good to know that it was your first company and you really cleared it. It's an achievement indeed.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too.